Oh, there we go. Okay. Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 3. Yada, yada, yada. Okay.
Cool.
You say something.
Hello, I'm saying something.
She's saying something.
Something.
Amazing thing. Hi, I'm Chris Lockhart. Welcome to Consultant Saying Things. I'm here live at the Next Generation SAP Enterprise Architecture Learning Forum. And I got to tell you, it's full of all kinds of amazing people. It's a great building. And one of my great friends and the host of the podcast with me, Wendy Keene, is here with me. So what I thought I would do, in lieu of an actual topic that I thought about in advance, is actually just go around and have some quick discussions with folks that we've met here at the forum. So this is going to be good. This is going to be like one-off sort of little hits, and I hope you enjoy it. Hi, so I'm here with my good friend Bala Kalavala, and he works at Bain. How you doing, Bala?
Fantastic.
It's a great conference, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Listen, I wanted to ask you, you're in the Chief Architect Network with me.
Yes.
We've talked about some things before. I want to know your perspective. What does an architect need to know about? And skill-wise, what do they need to develop to navigate the transformation that's coming?
Fantastic question.
Thank you.
So, an enterprise architect, I take that,
Yeah.
which is our primary focus area.
Correct. Yeah.
An enterprise architect typically has to know broader sense of technology
Right.
at large.
Okay.
So there was a time when we needed to know mainframe, how it works and how do I transform that.
Right.
And now then came cloud.
Yeah.
Right? So I needed to know how do I make my applications portable,
Sure.
right? And package it in a container.
Yep.
When micro applications came in, microservices came in,
Right.
and number of integrations came in.
Sure.
Now with that, now AI has come in. So AI requires qualitative data with quantitative value.
Ooh, I like that.
What I mean is that,
Do you trademark that? Is that a patented phrase?
so what I mean, I'll give you an example, right? You are trying to put an L0 call center, L0 level call center
Yeah.
automation into this.
Right.
Now, there were 1,000 tickets last month. I'm making it all hypothetical.
Yep.
And 40% of them were related to password scenarios.
Okay. Yeah. Password reset. Yeah,
Password
whatever.
reset.
Expiration.
And
Sure.
about 30% of them were related to a specific change you guys made in your organization.
Oh, yeah. Correlation, maybe.
Correlation.
Yeah.
Now you started training your AI.
Mm.
Now your AI thought all of this information, and the change you guys made is settled now.
Right.
There was a change request
Right.
made, and
Okay.
whatever the bug was, they
Sure.
fixed it and
Now
came
it's
back.
steady state
Now it's
again.
in steady
Sure.
state.
Yeah.
With the steady state, there is no more issues coming in that area.
Right.
And the password reset is an ongoing scenario. It is still 40% of your issues. Let's come to that.
Is it really? Is that a real number?
Let us put that as
Okay.
the context of
Sure.
this journey.
Okay.
So your top issue has not been resolved.
Right.
Your secondary issue has been resolved.
Got it.
Okay? That happened sporadically. Now you come and you train your AI based on the last X number of months data.
Yeah.
Now you say, I'm going to put this AI into works. And you go and say, like when the new tickets come, a specific one of them, I'm going to pass it through and give you the answer.
Yeah.
And it's giving you all kind of answers which are not relevant.
Right. Well, you didn't give it the right data.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, right?
I love that.
So,
It's got to be accurate. It's got to be complete, and it's got to drive through to an actual value outcome, right?
so in AI terms, they call it heat.
Yeah.
The
Ooh.
heat is
Heat.
the value you get,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So, quantification
Yeah.
of the data, you have to say. Then you have to supplement that with how much weight you give to that particular data,
Yeah.
attributes or sections of it. So you classify the data, sections of it, and then say, you take this as a secondary input versus the top common issues that we have faced, and here is the frequently responded answers.
Right.
Take them as the top answers.
I like
And now
that.
you train it
you got better data, you're gonna have better outcomes.
right? So now you train it. So the training is what? Like you are going to do prompt engineering.
Sure.
Now you are going to ask series of
Yeah.
step-by-step question, chain of thought.
You're gonna refine it.
It's going to ask that, right? So where does an enterprise architect come? It's a long-winded answer. The enterprise architect needs to know that when certain data is moving from one source to another source in a chat mode,
Yeah.
which means highly chatty,
Yep.
API integrated application,
Yep.
part of the application went to cloud and something was in the data center.
Yep.
Now it is the same scenario.
Right.
You're back in the square one of the problem statement,
Yep.
and now you need to address it even more faster because there is the human in the middle who is asking the question right live. Right? It is not a system to system integration.
That's right. Yeah.
So
That causes all kinds of problems.
all kinds of problems.
Yeah.
So how do you build a layer of caching of responses?
Yeah.
And how do you make the AI ask you a semi-intelligent question
Sure.
while it is still processing your request
Yeah.
to make it continuous interactive?
Right.
So that is where the enterprise architect comes in with regards to making sure a highly qualitative data is in the front and you highly value it and then build a thought process around it when the other parts of the data is being processed. That is the enterprise architect.
So you heard it here first. Bala is saying enterprise architects need to become data architects.
They need to focus more on the data
I love
and
it.
the flow of that data.
think you're right.
quality of data.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Cheers.
Welcome. Cheers.
All right. There's so many great people at this conference. Lots of people that I know that I've run into, like my friend here, Vipin.
Hey, Chris, how are
Vipin
you?
Jain, how are you?
Good,
Listen, I had a question for you. You're a chief architect.
Yes.
One of the themes that we've been talking about at this conference is really about transformation and going into the future and all those sorts of things. What do you think skill-wise, like what are the skills for the future that an architect needs to have?
Well, it's kind of a changing environment, right? Right now,
Yeah.
we're talking about AI.
AI, of course.
Everything is AI, and this is changing in the last couple of years. Down the line, you have quantum.
I forgot about that one.
Quantum computing is coming, and who
back.
knows what else is coming down the line, right?
Holograms.
So, yeah, there are a bunch of things coming.
Sure.
So, like a few years back, it was the cloud. Now, cloud is accepted as a foundational thing.
Do you remember services-oriented architecture?
Oh yeah,
That was a thing.
I remember in 2001
Yeah.
we were doing the
Yeah.
SOA base.
That's right, yeah.
And that was supposed to be nirvana, but now that is kind of not there.
So what do I need to know? What do I got to do? I got to be flexible. Is that it? And
You
just
need to be flexible.
Yeah.
You need to be agile. You need to be a continuous learner, and you need to understand the business and the technology.
yeah,
world.
I love that.
You cannot be just on one side.
Yeah. What have you heard here this week that has maybe changed your perspective on something? Anything?
Well, I used to work with SAP long time back.
Right.
And in last 10-15 years I was not really in touch with SAP, but what I saw here today is a completely new SAP.
Yeah. Are you impressed?
I'm very impressed with it, how it is helping with the business
pretty good.
transformation
Yeah.
and say one of the solid platform.
Because I'm right there with you. When I think about SAP, I don't. Previously, I have not historically thought of agile, transformative. Right? You always think of like, this big, ponderous platform with all customized and everything. But it's a completely different world.
Yeah, it is a completely different world, and SAP is kind of being very innovative in the sense of adopting
agreed.
What future is holding,
Yeah.
and I wish them all the best, and I think a lot of companies who are adopting it would be enjoying it.
Hey, listen, man, it's good to see you.
Same here.
I'll see you in London.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you
Cheers,
so much.
mate.
Yeah.
Cheers,
Take care,
mate.
man.
We'll have a pint. Hey, so I found my my buddy here, Boris Vishnevsky.
everyone.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, it's good to see you again. So, Boris, you're an expert in a bunch of things, but I had one thing I wanted to ask you about, and that is, we've heard a lot at this SAP conference about like the transformation that everything is going through, right? And I was wondering, like, when it comes to architecture or when it comes to consulting, what do we have to do to sort of to be able to take that journey of transformation, whether it's AI, whether it is, I don't know, whatever it might be, robotics, do we have to upskill? What do we got to do? How do we How do we change, or do we need to?
It's a great question, Chris. Thank you for asking. So we got to do many things.
Yeah.
But because the environment around us is pretty loud, I'll focus on three.
Okay.
We're going to focus on three specific
Just three things? There's
just
three things?
Just three things.
Okay, only three.
Only three.
Okay.
So in one of the sessions, I forgot the name of the speaker. It was mentioned that as practitioners, we need to keep our knives, our edge sharp.
Right.
In order to keep our edge sharp, we need to continue to learn.
Right.
And we need to continue to learn things not just within the enterprise architecture technology domain.
Right.
We need to learn about other things. And learning to learn and what skills to learn could become a separate subject for one of your future podcasts.
That's a whole episode, Boris.
It's a whole episode.
It's a whole episode.
The second episode, what we need to do is we were groomed to wear a one specific hat, one specific label, carry
Right.
one specific brand.
Right.
Because of the rapid changes that taking place in a technology landscape,
Sure.
we need to be able to take our hat off. And
Ooh,
as part
I
of
like
the
that.
learning
I like
to
that.
put many additional hats on. And being able to put many additional hats on is what makes anyone to be a reasonable consultant.
Okay, I like that.
Because being able to switch your hat is what helps you get into the context of the person that you're trying to deliver business value to, or being able to consult with.
So you need to understand their context.
But in order to do that, there is a particular set of consulting techniques that we will create a separate episode on.
Would you say you have a particular set of skills?
My major skills that I learn and continue to develop is called question-based consulting.
I love it.
Being able to come up with and ask an open-ended questions. And for that, you need to be able to switch your hands.
Is that a little bit of the Socratic method? Like you like to, ask good questions?
Very much so. The third area,
Okay.
and that will conclude our on-the-record conversation.
Right.
Will become another
That's right.
subject for another podcast.
Anything longer, you're going to bill me. Is that what it is?
Correct.
Yeah.
So the third area, which is extremely important, is being able, one of these multiple hats that you learn to wear,
Right.
got to be clear understanding of a particular business domain.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You cannot become a great consultant, great enterprise architect of technology
Okay.
if you do not have a sufficient insight.
Right.
You don't need to become a real business person, but you need to be able to learn to pertain
Sure.
and understand deep enough a particular business domain in order to identify a set of technologies
I like it.
that in a specific combination can bring unique, lasting, durable value to that business.
So not too much of a genericist, but like you need to have some domain knowledge.
Specific business knowledge.
Yeah.
Technology, many folks have and continue to capitalize technology on technology knowledge.
Yeah.
But technology got to be one of these hats that we need to take off
Right.
and place on another hat specific to a particular business domain that we're looking to have.
So if I was an expert, say in Lotus, Domino, would that help me out these days?
I would ask you, what is it?
It's an application server, the greatest application server ever.
I think WebSphere was much better.
I agree
Was
with you. I agree with you. Yeah.
We got to shout out for Katie Kim.
I love Katie Keene. Shout out to Katie
Katie
Keene.
Kim.
We'll say hi to Katie. Awesome. Hey, thank you, Boris. Well, so what's interesting is when we were just talking about some stuff, and
How did you get started with yours?
as we paused and ended that recording, we saw Linda walking down the corridor, and in a what has to be one of the greatest things that you've said to me in recent times is, let's get Linda and ask her this question.
So, Linda, we have a really important question
Really
for
important,
you.
yeah.
And we know that you're going to have a brilliant answer. So, when we think about enterprise architects and rising to the challenge of helping organizations with transformation now and in the future, what are the most important skills?
You have 5 seconds. Go.
5 seconds. I can't do it. Most important skills. Magic mushrooms.
Magic mushrooms. Magic mind. It's magic mind.
Okay, that wasn't it. No, okay. So I have a lot of thoughts, and I think the future. So So the future will require enterprise architects who are, living in the enterprise architect role, which is broader than a lot of people think. And you may be an enterprise architect that is working in implementation, integration, solutions, very, very important. But you may be an enterprise architect that finds yourself in the actual business strategy, business formation, organization architecture, those kind of things that are really, really important in capability definition and how we're performing those capabilities. That is a wonderful thing if you can do it and want to do it. But then there's also a third, and so both of those, you got to figure that out. If you can do both of those things and go strategy to implementation and back up to pop back and forth, you're already the unicorn that we need, right? But enterprise architecture by definition, you have to be good at all the domains. You have to be good at all that stuff to really achieve, I think, the role. But then I think now there's one more that I'm putting some thought to, that's another plane on top of that, which is the mystic.
The mystic.
Which is the layer that is,
love that.
You gotta see what's coming, be able to discern. The big word on that one, my action word on the mystic layer, or the mystery layer, is discernment.
Yeah.
What is going to be important? What is going to be important to the ecosystem, to the environment? What's going to break the systems? AI. Great example. Everyone's talking about it, and I believe, sorry to everyone, but hardly anyone knows what we really should do with it, even though there's a lot of people doing a lot with it.
I don't know. I heard Accenture booked like $20 billion in their AI business.
People can make a lot
sure
of money on
is,
it.
But
it's, what does it really do for business value? And can we get some real, I've heard people say that they're abandoning their data strategies because they're going to go to AI, and I'm like, well, you obviously don't know what that means, because if you don't have data is AI uses the data in the organization,
it's
so
data-driven tech.
You're not paying attention. So anyway, I think really leaning into understanding the purpose, the intention, the opportunity, the risk, the business value that can be derived from some of these really sort of out there things that are coming, because it's going to keep going. I'm delighted and excited by what we're going to figure out next, because the pace of technology, the pace of change, the pace of opportunities like this is not going to slow down.
Yeah. Unless
there are things put in place to oppress some of this, but I really don't think that's going to happen, because people continue to be creative and great thinkers and innovators. So I think the thing is we need to be ready, almost visionaries, almost futurists. But if you can do all three of those, you probably have to abandon that heavy implementation work if you're really going to get up into the strategy and that mystic layer. But anyway, so I don't know if this is what you're looking for, but
that's exactly
what I've been thinking a lot about.
That is great. We talk a lot about it's not about the tool. It's about thinking about how you use the tool and and why you're using the tool and all that sort of stuff. But I love this.
What the tool does is helps us keep track of all this stuff we know.
Right. Yeah.
Because this is the most, I'll say, because I do it, but also because I believe it, one of the most knowledge-intensive roles in the organization. And we can't possibly, we have big, good brains, we all do, but we can't keep track of it all. So we need the tools to help us.
And Linda, what about the human side? Do you think we have to show up in different ways, build different skills than we have today?
Absolutely. How can you be a mystic without being able to show up and present that in a way that isn't stupid or weird, right? You have to make, because it can't just be the mystery. I say this all the time. I'm not just running around saying the sky is falling all the time and overly dramatic. It can feel that way, but the thing is, some of this stuff is real. And you have to, I heard today, or yesterday actually, someone said, you shouldn't really, and again, back to AI, because it's been on everyone's tip of everyone's tongue, but you shouldn't be making an AI strategy. You should be understanding the organizational direction, purpose, vision, strategy, and then figuring out where this AI thing fits it, advances it, breaks it, and can be utilized for the greatest optimization. And many topics could be the same.
Yeah.
Get clear on your strategy, but that means that, we have to be consultants. We have to know, bring change management and everything, not in the change management, ADCAR rigor necessarily, but or ProSci or whatever, but in the in the thinking, the EQ, man.
Yep.
This
EQ.
is it's EQ.
So there you have it from Linda Finley, the head of the Twin Cities Business Architecture Forum. Of course, you need to be a mystic.
A bit.
A little bit mystic.
A bit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Linda.
Thanks, Linda.
Thank you. Thanks for asking me these questions.
At the Next Generation SAP EA Learning Forum Summit. That was terrible. So there's all kinds of people here at this conference, including my friend Vipin.
Hey, Jason.
How are you?
Good,
My name's
man.
Chris,
How are you?
though.
Oh, Chris.
Let's do that again.
Sorry.